The job wouldn't change at all? Now that has that been the case? Do you feel any different at all? 10 practices, 11 practices in?
When I say the job hasn't changed, I really meant it. It's make the players better, approach the locker room, find a first down, and outwork the team up north. The job hasn't changed. The title. Now the focus has changed a whole bunch. I used to pride myself on being involved with every unit in the locker room, and now I got 8 guys. I'm just worried about the tight end. So I apologize to the other position groups, but the focus has definitely changed. The job has not changed.
When you look at it's probably not a fair way to ask this question, but what do you hope to accomplish with the unit as a whole? I know every specific guy's got a different plan. What are you hoping to get done by the end of next week?
Yeah, by the end of spring, and I told the guys, when I leave spring, I know what value each guy can bring. And today we challenged them to be versatile. Look at a guy like Cade Stover. Everyone knows Cade has a big dominant blocker, physical leader. When he came back, I told him, you don't grow when you're comfortable. So for me to put him on the line and just go block the ends, he's not growing. So using him as an example, how many times can I make him uncomfortable this spring? Put him at positions he hasn't played. Give him drills he's never done before, techniques he hasn't used before. So for each guy, I'm trying to make them uncomfortable so they could grow.
When you say that you were involved with everyone, now you're down to 8 guys, how much did you have to get to know those guys on a deeper level? How much did you have to get to know them as players? You weren't a new coach, but you, as you said, you kind of had an expanded role. Now it's more focused.
No, and you're exactly right. I think now I knew each guy before, but to this level, no way. And how you love someone is by spending time with them. And I just poured into these guys. They've done a great job of opening themselves up to be coachable. And my favorite part of this new gig is these guys. Like I get home at night and I'm like, Paige, look at this clip of whoever making a block, or hey, Jelani learned this new technique or whatnot. Like I'm bragging about my tight ends to my wife like they're my own, and it's been a ball.
Yeah, you mentioned Jelani. It seems like he's been doing well when we've been out here. Just what are you seeing from him in his first spring?
No, he's been doing really well, and I think it's easy for freshmen to come in and kind of be complacent, especially early enrollees, like, oh, I made it because I'm getting reps or whatnot. But Jelani, the best thing he's done is his off-the-field habits. I mean, Jelani and Carnell Tate are 2 of the first guys in here every day. And I go into my office at the end of the night, and Jelani's in there with our GA Sean Binks, who's one heck of a coach, and they're going over tomorrow's script, or they're watching film, learning new things. So yes, he's a big physical athletic dude, and he loves football, but Dan, the best thing Jelani's been doing is off the field habits.
What has impressed you about him on the field, Keenan? I mean, he stands out, number one.
No,
physically.
No, physically great. But again, I know you're not going to really like this answer, but it hasn't been something physically because God gave him talent. We challenge our guys to get skill and discipline, and he's doing things now on film that because he followed the lead of Cade and G and Joe and those guys. He's doing things now habitually, finishing +2, going 2 extra seconds on blocks that you don't really see early release do. So that's what I'm most impressed with.
When a guy like him comes in, when a superstar, so to speak, tight end comes in. What? No, but I'm saying, I mean a guy who made his mark by catching balls, not necessarily blowing people up on the line. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Do you know you've got a project there from the standpoint of the blocking part? I mean, just what is he like in that aspect?
Oh yeah, I mean, typically when tight ends come in, like you're saying, one play they got to be Paris Johnson, the next play they got to be Garrett Wilson, right? And I love those 2 guys, but we never asked Paris to get open or Garrett to block. So they got to do it all, and I think the versatility is something that's not usually done in high school, like you just said. If I'm Coach Boone down at Langston Hughes, I would have put Jelani out there and just throw fade balls to him. I would never ask him to block these DNs because you got a mismatch. But up here, you got to do it all, and that's the biggest adjustment.
Yeah, me and that coach would get along, I think.
Oh, he's the best.
Real quick, you're we've talked to you for many times, but your experience with the wides and stuff, how's that helped you in this role as the full-time tight end coach? You understand what I'm saying? I mean, what did you gain there that you're leaning on?
Yeah, and not just specifically to the receivers, but also the O-line. I tell my guys in my future Buckeyes, I don't have tight end drills. And they're like, what? They're like, no, I got receiver drills, and I'm going to coach you like I coach Jackson and Chris and Garrett, and I don't have O-line drills. Because when it's time to block, I'm going to coach you like Coach Fry, Coach Paris, and DeWan. Period. Because on one play, you got to be him, and one play, you got to be him. So I think just kind of molding those 2 together, tight end coaches are either run first blocking guys or route running guys. I got to do both. So when you come here and play tight end Ohio State, you're going to get coached like Jackson got coached and like Paris Johnson got coached. No, I have not made it, and that's no. But I think what you're saying is, have I had an exhale aha moment that we're here? I hope not. I hope not. I mean, the second I do that, I'm robbing these guys of maybe 1% of my best. So I hope it's going to be hair on fire. If you see me walking around with a whistle or something, call me out on it.
Keenan, we don't typically see true freshman tight ends play much at Ohio State. Is Jelani somebody who has a chance to break that?
They all have a chance, Dan. I don't want to put expectations. Once you start putting expectations, you're gonna hurt yourself. If he keeps attacking every day like he has and off the field with Coach Binks, then he's got a shot.
You know, last year when in the Georgia game, when Cade came out, there was obviously a noticeable drop off from that point. His absence was pretty conspicuous. Where are things in terms of developing these other guys to maybe, if that happens again, you guys aren't left in such
Yeah, no, and that's a great question. The only way we're going to figure that out is if I replicate that at practice. There's been times that, again, using Cade as an example, Cade's been the absolute best at being uncomfortable. So there's been times that I sent him down with the receivers to learn some route running work, and I said, hey, guys, Cade's out the game. Joe, G, Bennett, Sam, Pat, you guys got to fill it, right? Because Georgia, we didn't anticipate that, and we had to throw Mitch in there. And Mitch, I'm always use Mitch Rossi as an example of stepping up and having competitive excellence. So kind of simulating that in the spring's been great. Hey, Cade, you're out these 2 periods, you know? And then also for Cade, what if, okay, your shoe's untied. What kind of leader are you from the sideline? Because he's the guy who always wants to be in the trenches. Okay, how do you lead from the sideline?